Camp Keewaydin on Lake Temagami, Ontario, is over 110 years old. It was founded by a man who believed boys would grow, mature, and find their true selves when facing the hardships of the wilderness.
I owe so much of who I am to this place, and I wouldn't trade it for anything in the world.
Today, Keewaydin's vision remains largely unchanged. Kids take canoe trips out of base camp on Lake Temagami in groups of 5 to 8 called sections. Trips are 5 days, 10 days, and 21 days for some full-session campers. Sections travel from lake to lake, making camp at a new site each night, navigating the loop that returns them back to Keewaydin after each trip.
The big moment for any section, not just for the individual kids, but for the section, is when they realize that they're capable of doing all these things.
I think my favorite moment was when we were cliff jumping on Blueberry Island. I've learned lots of different ways to carry loads with like tumping and stuff.
I swam from our campsite to an island and back twice.
A lot of times you'll hear it like, I can't do this before the portage, like I can't carry this, I can't get through this. And when they realize that they can, that's just something that they've never done before.
1, 2, 3.
Once they've learned canoe tripping skills, kids come back for longer trips, either on Lake Temagami or from our outpost in Western Ontario. Through the summers, they take longer and longer trips, culminating for many in a 7-week journey to Hudson Bay.
I asked Greg Clark when he started in 1892, 1893, he wanted to start a canoe trip camp. And I think philosophically, he felt like out in nature, in the wild, the boys could really learn something.
It's nice to go back in these old books over here, these old photo albums, and really see that nothing has really changed. Everything looks the same.
The kids will find and discover themselves, and they will learn here everything they need to know in life. They won't learn trigonometry, but they'll learn who they are.
Every single aspect of my life that I have felt better about has something to do with what I learned at Keewaydin.
The staff teaches them cooking skills. They teach them how to make the fireplace. They get taught how to collect the firewood. At many other camps, the staff do everything.
Up and around and through.
So the Keewaydin way in which all the young campers learn all these skills is tremendous.
All right, good work.
And the bottom one goes over the top one.
What Keewaydin does so well is provide opportunity for success every moment of every day for every child.
My favorite part of the summer was probably just being out in the wilderness because it's like nothing else really.
At mid-season, all sections, boys and girls, kick back and take a break at base camp. There's lots of good food, time to relax, canoeing, cooking, camping, and swimming competitions, and time to share stories and just hang out with friends. Many parents come to Keewaydin during this mid-season break and at the end of summer. They stay at Ojibwe, our family lodge, and visit with their sons and witness their accomplishments.
Wheel up, bacon!
When I jumped off, I had a bucket full of thoughts. When I first jumped off, I had that bucket in my hands. Ideas that would take me all around the world. I stood and watched the smoke behind the mountain curl. It took me a long time to get back on the
A canoe trip world is a challenge from the moment that you wake up in the morning. But they're all achievable challenges, and that's what Keewaydin provides, is the opportunity for the kids to build their confidence and their self-esteem through constant success.
That's the difference at Keewaydin, is these kids come back and they feel like they've done something important. They feel really accomplished, and I feel like that's how growth happens.
Paddle, 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 paddle!
Going through things that are difficult and challenging
allow you the ability to go out into the world and say, I don't know if I can do it, but I'm gonna try.
Like Keewaydin is the only place I find where like you'll come and no matter how hard you try to avoid it, you're gonna have to try your hardest and you're gonna have to work together, and it's just gonna force you to be a better person. And like that's the greatest part, like coming back after a trip and knowing you're just a better person.
Keewaydin means northwest wind, the harbinger of fair weather. At Keewaydin, kids learn to appreciate traditions. They learn to value perseverance, the depth of their own resources, how to trust and become trusted. Kids come for an immersion in nature and an immersion in learning to live and work together with others to accomplish something truly transformative.
It's about life on the water, life in the woods, about getting from lake to lake, about your food, about cleaning up. It's not about much else. And the clarity of that, the simplicity of that, the directness of that, is practically a meditation.
Keewaydin, 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 Keewaydin. Woo!
Keewaydin, Keewaydin, Keewaydin. Woo!
The end of each summer is a dramatic time for all Keewaydin canoe trippers. All the sections paddle in and are greeted by parents, friends, and fellow trippers. They compete in tests of skill that are a century old, and around the campfire, they talk about where they've been
So I go
and what they've done.
1 foot in front of the other, kind of using one hand on the canoe, one on the side of the cliff. Make my way down, sometimes making little 3-foot hops down. Finally, almost at the bottom, do like some crazy like 7-foot hop. I don't even know how I did it. Look up at Will, I'm like, oh, no worries, come right down.
We saw 9 moose after that. 9, which was like, I'd seen like 1 moose on Outpost. 9 moose. That was a lot of moose.
And so I'm fishing this pool, and all of a sudden I got my first bite, and I was so pumped. My heart was beating so fast because I love, like, fishing is my passion. And yeah, so like 9 fish later, I was the happiest kid on this.
And so I asked him, you know, Bob, why did you never map these places? He looked me in the eyes and he said, Will, it's not about the place you end up at the end of a journey. True joy lies in the experience of an adventure.
At the end of summer, campers return home with skills and experiences that will be with them for a lifetime. Friendships, leadership skills, strength, self-reliance, and an appreciation for what it means to be part of a team.
This is when you come back and you tell people, you won't believe what I've done this summer. And through the stories, they and I realized, you know, that was pretty terrific what it was I was able to accomplish.
It's one of the most important experiences of my life, and I would never trade it for anything.
The customs man upon our baggage cast an eagle eye, but we winked and said Keewaydin, and they promptly passed us by on our way to Temagami. Ah, the thought was a misdemeanor.